Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the Tier 7 Mercenary Premium Light Tank, the Bernardini CCL X1. Now if you do like the replays, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe down below as it really does help out the channel. And yes, the Bernardini, it is a Tier 7 Premium Light Tank that is just basically a Ramrod, but better. It genuinely is. It looks very, very similar, and that's because, you know, it's the similar or the same kind of chassis. It's got a slightly different turret, but a very stubby gun the same. Has the same alpha, but better penetration, better mobility, better view range. You know, it's just generally better in general. And it is a pretty fun little light tank at tier 7. I really do like this vehicle quite a lot because you can spot for yourself really, really easily, like you're seeing here. You got good camo to stay unspotted. And this gun, when you get it aimed in, is really, really nice. You've got pretty decent DPM, and well, I say pretty decent DPM. You've got pretty good DPM for a tier 7 light tank. And then the penetration on the top of that means you just go through everything you're going to face. And it means you can rack up damage very, very quickly. You can stay unspotted for quite a while, and you can get to very aggressive positions and get some good spotting damage, while also getting some very, very nice damage off as well. The way I play this thing is more like a medium tank than a true light tank, because you can't really active scout in it. It's just kind of like the Ramrod in a way that, while it has better mobility than the Ramrod, it's still a little bit sluggish at times, and you've only got a 60km/h top speed, which means that, yeah, you're not the quickest light tank in the universe. You're not slow by any means, but you're not the quickest, which means trying to play actively in this vehicle, especially with it being quite a tall tank, means you're going to get hit quite easily a lot of the time. Also, controllers die, people. It happens. So, yeah, the Bernardini. With the build that I run, I've got a 60km/h top speed with a 26km/h reverse speed, which, let's say, isn't the fastest top speed in the universe, but it's also a pretty good reverse speed. 208 horsepower engine is 18.89 horsepower per ton ratio, which means you do get up to the 60. Let's say it just occasionally can be a little bit sluggish, and especially when you hit destructible cover, it can really slow you down. You've got 52 degrees a second hull rotation speed, which is pretty quick. It does turn very fast, with a 47.78 degrees a second turret rotation speed, which means the turret does turn slower than the hull. So bear that in mind. The ground resistances are amazing on this tank, so they do not hold the tank back whatsoever. We've got 266 meters of still concealment and on the move concealment, seeing as you are a light tank. 266 meters of concealment on the old Bernardini, which is very, very nice for a tier 7 light tank. With 499 meters of view range as well, which is absolutely fantastic. Really helps to spot for yourself in this tank. It's one of the things that is very, very, very nice compared to a Ramrod, because the Ramrod doesn't quite have the view range like you do in this. You've got 1.2 accuracy during rotation with this gun, with 2.98 accuracy during movement, which isn't very nice. That means that the aim circle on this tank does bloom out a lot, and you are seeing that so far in this replay, that the aim circle becomes rather large. You have a 2.3 second aim time as well, which means it does take a wee while to get that gun aimed in. As you can see, it is a large aim circle, and it does take a little bit to get it aimed in. But you've got 0.33 accuracy at 100 meters, which isn't too bad, and when you get this gun fully aimed in, it does hit its shots, which is good for this 90mm gun on this tank. You've got 8 degrees of gun depression on this vehicle, which means you can be pretty flexible on the ridgeline. As you're seeing here, sometimes it can be a little bit awkward. You've got to go over sideways at times to get the max out of your gun depression, stuff like that. Sometimes it can just be a little bit awkward, but on the whole, 8 degrees is lovely and will make you very, very flexible on those ridgelines like we're trying to do here. You've got a 5.83 second reload on this vehicle, which is nearly 2.5k DPM. It's 2,467 DPM, which is very, very nice, and that is very good for a tier 7 light tank. How does that reckon? Okay, sure game, whatever you say. But yeah, it means you've got a pretty good DPM for a tier 7 light tank, and you can work people over. It's why I say that I play this tank more like a medium tank than I do a light tank, because it's not as easy to be able to not get hit in this vehicle like some other light tanks, and trying to play that more active role, like I say as well, is also a bit of a struggle. So you can get to the aggressive bush locations and try and passive spot, but that's the only way I'd really do that. To be honest, you are better than a lot of the tier 7 medium tanks at doing what they want to be doing, so it's something that is a premium asset for the old Bernardini. So we're up to 205 penetration on the standard APFSDS, which is a bit odd to have at tier 7, because APFSDS is usually a higher tier round to have, but it works the same as an APCR round mechanically in this game. 205 penetration is amazing, by the way, for a tier 7 light tank. Absolutely amazing. It means your penetration is great. You're not going to struggle to pen anything, especially since you've got 250 penetration on the premium heat rounds, which have 240 alpha as well, meaning, yeah, you're just going to go through everything. With 1,050 meters a second shell velocity on the standard APFSDS round, that is pretty nice as well. It's slightly above average, and it's better than quite a few of the tier 7 light tanks as well, meaning you don't have to give a horrendous amount of lead to hit targets, but you do have to give quite a bit. And it is 750 meters a second shell velocity on the premium heat round, so be very careful of that, as that is a lot slower than your standard round, and means you have to give quite a bit of lead at distance to be able to hit the target with that shell. But you're not going to struggle to pen things quite as much. You also have a 140% silver bonus on this vehicle as well, which is pretty decent for a tier 7 medium. Sorry, for a tier 7 premium is what I was trying to say. We finished that first game with the Ace Tanker, the High Caliber, the Scout Medal, 2.4k base XP for 6 kills, 4.2k damage, 2.7k assistance. That's nearly 7k combined in a tier 7 light tank. Really nice game there on steps in the old Bernardini. And we're on to the second replay, which is on Malinovka. So what do I run in terms of a crew in the old Bernardini? Well, I run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Camouflage Expertise, Muffled Shot, Steady Aim, Snapshot, Run and Gun, with the Advanced Loader, the Camo Net, Optics. Optics to be able to get that fantastic 499 meters of view range, so I can spot for myself really, really well. The Camo Net to get down to that 266 meters of still concealment, mixed in with the Camouflage Expertise and the Muffled Shot to reduce the effect of firing on my camo. The Advanced Loader to get the best out of the DPM, as the DPM is pretty nice on this vehicle, so it's something that is quite good to be able to get better. And then all 3 gun perks to make this gun as good as humanly possible, because it is a bit derpy if you do not help it. So I want to help it out as much as possible with those 3 gun perks. Just making it better on the move, during rotation, and in general is a very, very big help for the Bernardini, and it really helps you maximize your strengths, which is your DPM and your alpha on this tank, and helps you to play more like the medium tank that it really kind of wants to play like. But there's other things you could take on this tank. Like I say, you could decide, you know what, I'm a light tank, right? I'm not going to focus on DPM as much. Drop the Advanced Loader, you could run the traction system, and you would hit 66 kilometers an hour. You could also decide to drop the optics if you wanted to, but I wouldn't recommend that, since you are a light tank, and having the best view range you can get is always very, very nice for a vehicle like this. But I think if I was to drop anything, I'd drop the loader just to get faster. But I like playing it like the tier 7 medium tank that it feels like at times. So having that better DPM is always a glorious thing. So here on this map, which is Malinovka, like I say, we've gone to this position here at D7. This position is very, very nice from our spawn, because you can spot the people like that Sternpanzer back there if they overexpose round that rock. You can spot the people crossing up the 0 line. You can try and spot up and shoot the people that go to F7. And then if they progress up the hill, you can also get shots into the side of the turret and stuff like that. Like this, we're trying to get on the Scourge there. You can also progress the fight. This bush is a good place to try and spot people up. But you can also progress the fight by moving down to the next little ridgeline at E7 when the time is correct. And if they push across the open field as well, like this M4A3E8 is doing, you can get shots at those guys. And if anyone tries to also take the position that I like to go to from the opposition spawn, which is D6, this position is perfect for countering that, because you can shoot down with impunity at anyone that goes to D6 and just completely cut off that push. Because that push to D6 is very deadly for your team if it goes unchecked, and that is the way to do it without taking too many hits, and it's the semi-risk-free way of dealing with it, really. So we start to move forward. As we started to move forward there, it was like, okay, we're coming off the hill, let's go. Oh, wait, there's an Iron Rain there. No, that's not good. We did get a shot into the Iron Rain, and then he pulled back. We're up to 996 assistance damage with 1,038 damage. And this is what I was talking about when you progress the fight. You can drop into this dip, get on top of this hill, or just do what I'm about to do, which is YOLO into the Iron Rain. Why do I want to YOLO the Iron Rain? Because maybe I can spot some other tanks that are back there, and then, like I say, get rid of the Iron Rain, who is a deadly threat to leave alive. So we're up to 1,508 damage with 996 resistance damage, so we're 2.5k combined so far. And we got a bit lucky that the shot hit the Iron Rain on the move, the second shot at least, because we were a decent distance away, but we'll take the kill. So we're going to press in, press the advantage, and try and spot anybody else that's camping in their base, because right now, We want all of the assistance damage. We want to do our light tankly duty. So we come up on top of this ridgeline. We see the shots into the side of the G row. We're also spotting the 2 medium tanks that are down at K6. And so we've got juicy shots to our right. We've got people to our left that we're spotting. And because a lot of our tanks are up at EF90, we've got a lot of cover. So it's great for us if we can keep these guys lit up. If we can also get rid of the guys like the Cromwell that are on our left, that's our threat to our left gone, and we can start to try and farm the guys on the right easier. So we're spotting the TVP, the Shrek, and we managed to get a shot into that guy, and because we're spotting him, oh, that's so unfortunate that we didn't track and pen that guy there. But because we're spotting him, we're getting a good amount of assistance on this guy. Sadly, we didn't manage to kill him, but I'm going to try and close in and get a better shot into him, maybe tempt him out. But we managed to increase our angle there, making it a better shot for us to shut down that tier 8 Czech tank destroyer. And the Cromwell behind us gets shut down as well, which is great. Looking for shots now to the AMX-65T. Put one straight through the side, and that's it because I got 205 pen on the standard APFS DS, which, again, like I say, works exactly the same as APCR mechanically. We are able to just go through that guy with relative ease. Even if it was his front, we'd still be able to possibly go through the front there. And then if we needed to struggle, we'd just load heat rounds, and heat rounds would also go through. So this Huntsman is really in an awkward position for us. He's up in that top corner at K1, but thankfully he's just about overexposing his side. But the shot unfortunately goes low, meaning we can't quite get the shot into him. I really wanted to push in to see if we could get shots down at the guys at H1, but because of the position of that Huntsman, he's just in a very, very effective position to stop us being able to do that. So while he's distracted with the medium tank that's at K3, you know what? We're going to push in. We're going to push into a position where the Huntsman might have to overexpose himself to shoot us, and then we can start trying to get some shots into these guys. So the Balsig is currently distracted. He fires, so we're just going to go in, put a shot in for 206. He gets finished off by the Chimera. Going to poke round, see if we can get a shot into the King Dragon. Now, we've still got a lot of hit points, so I'm not too fussed. But there's the bit of derpiness in the gun. If you don't get the gun fully aimed in, it will miss shots if you're not careful. Going for the Dragon there, and there we go. We'll put a shot in, put him down to a one-shot for the Chimera. He finishes him off. Hopefully get a shot into the AMX-65T, which we do. And then the Chimera finishes him off. Huntsman in the top corner then shuts down my Chimera, and we're up to 3.1k damage with 3.1k assistance, so 6k combined, the 4 kills, which is a really, really nice game for this tank in a tier 8 matchup. And we're just going to try and close the distance and get in to get a shot into this Huntsman and help the Valeraphon out, who really won't need much help from us, but here we go. So we close him. Again, we've still got hit points, so who cares? We get a shot into his side, and, well, sadly, we end up capping out, so we don't get any more damage there. But we did finish with a pretty good total, like I say, for a Bernardini in a tier 8 matchup. And we finished with the 4 kills, 3.3k damage, 3.1k assistance, decent amount of silver in 161,000, the high caliber, the Confederate with the ace tanker for 2.2k base XP. And that's the Bernardini, which is a tier 7 medium tank, sorry, tier 7 light tank that plays like a medium tank a lot at tier 7 as a premium. It's a tank that I really do enjoy. It's just a sad time that it basically invalidates the Ramrod. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
A great success.